Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be continuing reading throughout the entire Action Bible. So today's story is going to be called Chariots of Fire. So we've been learning about Elijah and Elijah here recently. So let's go and get into this. This is based on 2 Kings chapter 2, 1 through 18. So Ahab's kingdom passes to his sons, but Queen Jezebel remains the power behind the throne, as she always has. She's been not the face of it. We see that more now, even with the president we have now. He may be the face of it, just as Ahab is or whoever, but the ones that are behind it are much smarter and much more, sinister, I should say. Just as Jezebel is the one behind all the decisions made and things as far as that nature. During the reign of her second son, Joram, Elijah receives a message from God. The Lord has told me to go to Jordan. Stay here, Elijah. No, as long as you live, I will follow you, Elijah. So they set out together. God has revealed to both of them that this is Elijah's last journey. So he knows that this is his last little journey, his last, little adventure, I should say, before it'd be the end of his life. But they say nothing. When they reach the Jordan River, Elijah strikes it with his cloak, and the water parts. They walk across on dry land, just as almost in the same nature as what Moses did in the Red Sea. On the other side of the river, Elijah stops as if he has reached the end of his journey. Is there anything you want to ask before God takes me away? Yes, let me inherit your spiritual power. Inherit you. Only God can grant that. If you are able to see what God does next, then your request will be answered. So, he wanted the same spiritual power, that Elijah had. We saw people before him like Moses had, and things as far as that nature. That's really in us all, it's whether God decides to give it to us and whether we have the faith in it, the belief in it or not. So he tells him, if you see what happens next, that means you will receive this. For a moment, all is still. Then, he says, Elijah screams out, my father, because a burst of flames comes, and horses made of fire, and a chariot made of fire comes and picks up Elijah, and carries him off to heaven. So Elijah never actually died. That's why they believe when they said the two prophets that may come back, they always believed that one of them would be Elijah, because he never actually had died. Because they will come back and they will be killed here. So he will, die for officials. So God had carried Elijah off into heaven on chariots made of fire, and he is still alive and living in heaven today. So Elijah actually sees this happen, which is his clear answer. When Elijah's mantle drops from heaven, it confirms that the miracle Elijah witnessed means he is to carry on Elijah's work by himself. When Elijah goes back to the Jordan River, he strikes the water with Elijah's mantle, and the water parts. God's power has come to me. Thank you, my Lord. A group of young prophets are waiting on the other side of the river, and they witness Elijah's parting of the waters. We know God has taken Elijah's spirit, and now we know that you are truly his heir. Should we look for Elijah's body so we can give him a proper burial? Look all you like. There will be nothing for you to find. The prophets spread the news throughout Israel that Elijah has been taken up to heaven, and Elijah has taken his place. And this still continues to show the miracles of God. Just as he has parted these seas, he had delivered the people from slavery, everything that he had done with David, and all that he'd blessed even Solomon early into Solomon's reign, all that stuff. So, now he has carried Elijah off to heaven on chariots made of fire. Something that nobody would believe. No, this couldn't be real, that this man had never been died, that horses made of fire had carried him to heaven. because God still has plans for Elijah, you know, and they're coming close, you know, to being to that point that his plans will continue through Elijah. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens, and you know, just be ready for it. You know, I can't remember who they always said the other prophet would be, because you know we were never given an exact answer. It always says two prophets. It's just what people assume. You know, and this one actually does make sense. You know, he never actually had passed away, and he was an incredible prophet of God. Uh, you know, so God done wonderful works through him and had blessed him, you know, abundantly. So we'll just see where the story continues next. You know, Elijah has taken up his mantle, you know, so he will be the man to replace Elijah, and you know, we'll see how God uses him. So catch you guys next week. As always, take it easy and God bless.